Welcome to the Cunningham Piano Show, where we explore life between the keys. I'm your host, Hugh Sung, and I'm so delighted to introduce Hanna Son. Hanna, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Absolutely. Now, I understand you have a bit of an international reputation that would make James Bond blush or give James Bond a good run for his money. So first, tell us where you were born.
So I was born in South Korea,
Okay.
and when I was 9 years old, my parents have decided to move to St. Petersburg, Russia.
Russia!
Yeah. So our whole family moved to Russia.
And how long were you in Russia for?
I was there for 11 years, since
Wow.
9 years old until the first year of college.
So
Conservatory.
by that time, you were speaking Korean and Russian,
And
right?
Russian, yes, yeah. So we
Now, from what I understand, you're actually more comfortable speaking Russian than you are, and your English is perfect. Okay, all right. So tell us about your life in Russia.
Right. So we moved to Russia for my parents' work. My parents were Christian missionaries.
Oh,
So it was
wonderful.
their first country for the ministry.
Wow.
Right. So there I met a very good Russian piano teacher who really encouraged me to pursue the music career. Whereas my parents were not expecting me to be a musician or pianist. They were not musicians at all, and they knew how hard it is. So they didn't really want me to be a pianist. But it was my teacher who really pursued me. And I entered a specialist music school called Rimsky-Korsakov Lyceum.
Now, how would you say that in Russian?
Rimsky-Korsakov Lycей, музыкальный лицей, Rimsky-Korsakov.
Very cool. Okay, and then you were in this wonderful Rimsky-Korsakov school, and then?
There I really professionally learned the piano with the Russian teachers, and I graduated. They have until the high school program, so I finished my high school there.
Now, and I studied with a Russian teacher
Yeah.
when I was younger. He was tough, and I've heard legendary horror stories of how tough Russian teachers. I can only imagine how tough the schools are.
Yeah,
How was it? Was it tough?
it was very competitive. They do like competitions for auditions. So like since there are 5 when they're entering, they do auditions, and so they select like very core talented pianists, like more like a Curtis. I heard in the United States.
Yeah, I guess.
from 5 years old. And then they do, when they're like around 5th grade, they do another audition, then they cut down whoever is not, they think, talented or they should not pursue the piano.
And the result
music.
is you have these Russian-trained pianists that are legendary. I mean,
Yes.
fingers of steel,
Yes.
powerful technique, incredible musicianship.
Yes, yeah.
And so you passed through all that, didn't you?
Yeah, thankfully.
But that's not all. What happened next?
Oh, yeah. So I finished the high school program there, and then I decided to go to Germany. Whereas also I continued to study with Russian professors. I started in Freiberg Hochschule in Freiburg.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Habe ich
now
vergessen so.
that's okay. So now we've got Korean, we've got Russian, and now you're speaking German.
German.
Okay, wow. Okay. I mean, were you comfortable speaking German
Oh,
there?
I had to learn. I had to take tests, like a TOEFL test. They require to have the certificate of the German ability.
So how long were you in Germany for?
6 years. 6 years. Right.
And then what?
And then, so I studied in Freiburg and Hanover Musikhochschule. I transferred to Hanover Musikhochschule, where I studied with Professor Krenev.
Okay.
And when I was graduating, my parents changed their ministry field to Thailand.
Wow.
So I went there to just visit them, just for vacation and just to reunite with my families. But there I met a very good mentor and a pianist who encouraged me to stay.
Okay, now what language are we speaking at this point?
They speak in Thai language, but I was comfortable to speaking in English with anyone.
When
because
did
they
you
were
find
good.
time to learn English?
English when I was in Russia, I went to the I was able to, before I entered to the Rimsky-Korsakov.
Okay, so at one point does the UN get in touch with you to start doing translation services for the whole UN body? This is incredible. Oh my, so you're in Thailand now.
Yeah.
And what happened happens there?
So he advised me to stay and
In Thailand?
yeah, ultimately to pursue the doctorate in the United States. You know, to do that you need like a Americanized educational system, master's degree, and so I did I finished a master's degree at the Thai university called Mahidol University, and I was also wanted to stay with my parents, reunite. I was long time away from home. And also, experience the exotic different cultures.
World traveler, and then you find yourself in Boston.
Yeah,
is that
in
right?
Boston, right.
And then in Boston, what did you do?
So I came to Boston for my doctorate. I earned a Doctor of Musical Arts in piano performance. Yeah.
And
I came here.
so my really important question is this. Korea, Russia, Germany, Thailand, Boston. What in the world brings you to Philadelphia? I think this is the best reason of all.
So in Boston, I met my future husband. Yeah, so who was a neurologist at Harvard, and recently he got a job offer in Philadelphia. So our whole family relocated to Philadelphia.
Congratulations. Well, I feel like we're the lucky ones to have you and your future husband. Are you married yet?
Yeah, we are married, and we have a 1-year-old, soon to be 1-year-old baby boy.
Wonderful. We are so fortunate to have you in this area, and I know you're now teaching at Settlement Music School, and you also just started at
the Montgomery County Community College.
Wonderful. Now, before we get into the performance portion, but by the way, what will you be playing for us?
Oh, I'll be presenting 2 contrasting pieces by Debussy and by Stravinsky. Okay. Debussy, Reflets Danse.
Okay. What does that mean?
It's called Reflections in the Water from the book Image, book 1.
And can you describe it? That's a pretty cool title for a piece.
Yeah.
For somebody who's never heard Debussy before.
Yeah.
What's happening in this piece?
So it's composed in around the early 20th century, and he's a very impressionistic composer.
Okay, now what does that mean?
So like when I play, I remind of the painter Monet. So impressionistic, like it's kind of blurry when you look in close to the paintings, but when you're away, you can kind of see the figures, the themes.
It's kind of cool that Debussy has that way of making the music very picture-like in that way, focusing in and out. It's going to be kind of cool to see what it sounds like to have an in and out focus.
Right.
Cool.
So in the music, you'll hear like the drops of the waters or some fountains, or runs of the swirls of the waters.
Really cool effects. And then you're also playing an amazing work by Stravinsky.
Yeah. So Stravinsky, I love. He's one of my favorite Russian composers.
Being basically Russian yourself.
Yeah, and this is the main theme is from the main music material is from the ballet Russe, ballet Petrushka, where it reflects a lot of Russian cultures, Russian folkloristic, nationalistic themes. You can imagine of like a Russian village having a festival and a dance of the puppet, traditional puppet.
But if you were to describe this like a scene out of a movie, so we see puppets, festival, folk. I mean, if we were to translate into American culture, folk might be, really laid back and very simple. Does this piece kind of reflect that? I mean, what kind of energy we get out of
It's
this
like
piece?
a very vibrant, very rhythmic, and exotic, and very colorful, and very festive.
I'm so excited. And now those are 2 really different pieces. And one of the unique things about this show is that we invite all of our guests to try a bunch of pianos and select the piano they would feel most comfortable performing on for their selected works. And in this instance, Hana, you've chosen this gorgeous Yamaha CF4. It's a mostly hand-built piano. Tell us, why did you choose this piano for these 2 very different works?
So when choosing a piano, for me it is important to really have the right feel of touch, and also responsive actions, and clarity, and the colors that I can really deliver through the piano. And in that sense, the Yamaha really offers all the qualities that I look for. Yeah, and I really enjoy playing on the Yamaha, and I always fall in love whenever I perform.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I am so excited to hear these wonderful works. So let's hear you play. Hannah, that was unbelievable, incredible. The legend continues, legendary Russian training and technique, but I mean, you really have an international flavor in your interpretation. I mean, it's just the coloring in your Debussy was just so magnificent, so delicate, and my goodness, the Stravinsky had so much fire and pep and energy. I couldn't tell if it was Russian, maybe spicy Thai. I don't know. So wonderful. Thank you for those incredible performances.
Thank you very much.
Well, what's coming up next for you? What are your plans here?
Since we are new here, I'm trying to juggle up with also nurturing my baby,
Sure.
and also really to really pursue my music career, have more connections.
Your connections all over the world at this point.
Yeah, and mainly in Philadelphia, and also really expand my performance opportunities. Yeah, so I look forward to that.
I think what we're so fortunate is that somebody like you, as talented as you, and as traveled as you, you bring the world in a sense to us, and we are so fortunate. Thank you for coming to our region, sharing your wonderful music, and I can't wait to share this with everybody.
Thank you.
So if you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so that we can let you know whenever we have new episodes. For the Cunningham Piano Show, I'm Hugh Sung. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.